We'll see the latency. 2, 3, 4. Hello, Dial the Gate. I'm David Reed.
I'm Nicole Rodriguez-Galdo.
I'm Evie Cahill.
The Wormhole Extremists. We're
We have
representing.
shirts.
Yes,
Yeah,
applause.
we're
Give
extreme.
us some
Thank you.
applause.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. This is the first Dial the Gate live broadcast from a remote location. So things may blow up in a burning pile of 2020 style dumpster tonight. So we're just going to have to watch, bear with us, listen. If there's an issue, please post it in the chat. Someone will see it and we'll figure it out. But welcome to Gatecon 2022. We are at the Sheraton Vancouver Airport Hotel in lovely Richmond, British Columbia, Canada.
We are.
So you
Hello.
are.
we are live here in British Columbia.
This is a suburb of Vancouver. So
It's
and
very nice to be together as
You've
well.
never
It
been
is.
to Vancouver. What
We've
do you think?
We really like it here. I really like the
I
vibe.
keep being like, I want to move here. It feels
Yeah.
like a much more mountainous, beautiful England.
Yes,
you know?
and a little off topic, but the toilets here are fabulous.
They are. Yep, love it, love it. Important aspect.
Like they flush like jet engines?
Oh no,
or-
we don't
They
like that
do.
part.
No,
we don't
they're
like
very
that part,
clean.
but everything else
Yeah.
is good. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and
got
the
it, okay.
people are lovely.
What about
The people are way
humidity?
lovely.
Look, you know what? Coming from Australia, the humidity is not unusual for me, so I did come prepared.
And in England, it gets really, really hot and sticky because England's not used to heat. So, you know, this is better. This has been way better. So,
So your first Gatecon.
Very, very excited.
Very.
I'm as excited as an unstabilized Stargate right now. I am shaking and
The shaking, between at the end of the 2.5 hours, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm just
done.
gonna vibrate right out
Yeah.
of here.
it's really exciting to actually be here. This has been my dream. I used to watch the behind the scenes from Stargate on the DVDs and be like, oh,
Yes.
Gatecon. I'd be like, oh, I can't go. I'm too young
But you're
and poor.
here.
I know,
Absolutely.
my dream.
Making it
I'm
happen.
here.
So
So
it's been years in the making. We've had these tickets for what, 3 years now?
Yeah.
exactly.
And there's all these
COVID.
delays,
I
and
know.
we're just so excited to be
So
here.
this show, we're planning on running at 2.5 hours. We have like an idea of what we want. Some people have dropped out who we were planning on being with us. There's some fires in LA, so keep those people in your thoughts. But we're going to make this show as amazing as we can. We're going to have on the Companion, Tommy Taylor Green from the Companion and Jenny are going to be joining us. We have some Stargate special guests, one of whom is already standing by. We're going to be bringing him in momentarily here.
Very exciting.
Absolutely. But we're also going to have the Gatecon schedule and encourage you to buy tickets. So if you go to gatecon.com, you can log on and get yourself access live to the convention over the weekend from live streaming, watching live streams of the convention panels. So you can go to gatecon.com, click on the replicator. It's a jumbotron there, and then inside you create a My Gatecon account, and from there you can see the entire preview of all the different events and their times. The guests are not listed yet, but I've been told that they are going to be listed by tomorrow. So you'll be able to see which guests are going to be where. And so we're going to discuss it. If that's a little convoluted, I apologize. We're going to make more sense of it as the evening goes on. So we're really excited to be here at Gatecon and broadcasting at this event. I am so privileged. I first came here in 2003.
I was 5.
Shh.
I just a 20-year-old fan, you know, just my first Stargate convention ever, and just to be doing this with you guys now, being a
it's
part
so
of the
great.
Gatecon family,
Yep,
is
absolutely.
tremendous. This is going to be a really exciting weekend. So
It's very surreal.
Very nervous and very excited.
Yes.
It's going to be chock-a-block full. I'm so happy.
Chock-a-block?
Chock-a-block.
Chock a block.
Yeah, I don't know why we say
Chock-a-block.
that.
Let's
like
make
chocolate
Chock-a-block
blocks.
a new thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Chock-a-block.
We can do that. Absolutely. We can do that. It's 5:45 now. I'm going to bring you guys in as we go off and on with the different guests.
Yep.
We have 90 minutes. We have 90-second breaks here that are going to give us a chance to figure things out and bring in another guest. So we're going to go to one of those right now. Our first Gatecon guest is coming up, Alan Gowan from Gatecon. He's running things backstage with us. Thank you so much, Alan. We'll be right back with more Dial to Gatecon right after this. You are now.
Yeah, baby.
Colin Cunningham.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Yeah.
Colin Cunningham, Major Paul Davis, our first guest on Dial the Gate. Look at that. We're watching ourselves.
Oh, and we're on delay too.
There's a delay, like 15
wow, so
seconds.
don't be doing that.
Yeah. So
Don't focus too much on it either.
if it gets weirder as the night goes
Yeah,
on,
that's
it's because
why.
some people are drinking.
No, because I'm looking at the monitor. There's photos of me naked. I'm thinking, where the hell did you get that? And then I'm like, all right.
I mean, you know, I
You snuck in there, did you?
whatever to earn a living when you're younger. So
gotta do what you gotta do. I was young in college and I needed the money.
so what Gatecon is this for you? Like Gatecon 15?
I was just asking
Yeah.
Richard. I'm like, how many have I done?
There's 13. This is the 13th, I believe.
Yeah, but I haven't done them all.
Okay.
I haven't done them all. I was thinking like 8.
Okay.
But it may be more than that.
Okay.
I honestly don't know, but and probably one of the reasons why I don't know is because I never expected there to be more than one. And I was surprised that I was even invited to begin with. I'm like, oh,
Well, everyone
wow.
loves
Were you
Why-
in the
why
first
wouldn't
one? Were
they?
you in 2000?
I think Fringe said no. I asked her, and she
Fringe
said, I
said
don't think you were
no.
here for the. No. I asked her if I
Oh.
was here, and she said, I
Okay.
don't think you
She
were.
didn't
So,
say
she
no
didn't
to
say
you.
no. She said, no, you weren't there.
Okay.
Yeah, but
You're obviously invited back for a good reason, though, you know.
well, I'm happy about. It's great. It's just great to be back.
This
It's
is
weird.
full
those-
circle for me because 2003 was my first Gatecon, and you were the first guest that I ever saw at a
Really?
convention period. So they had the little, like half scale, quarter scale, eighth scale Stargate up on stage, and you were like, "I've never been through the Stargate, so I'm going to go through it." And you went back behind it, and you just showed your feminine side as you jumped through.
What is this? Stargate for ants? What was I going to say? No, it's just, but it's been 4 years since the last
one.
Gatecon. No, and it's weird.
a long
Look, and I
time.
don't want to go into a
Right.
somber, dark place because it's not. It's
No,
all
this
to
is-
be
this is
celebrated.
happy-
No,
happy to be
no, I'm
back.
just saying. What I was going to say was usually the first two people that I see when I come here are Michael Amowitz and Cliff Simon.
Oh.
You know, so it's just weird. It's like, okay, wow, man.
We just
You
passed
know?
Eric Avari in the
corridor,
hallway,
yeah.
and it was like, yes, we're
Yeah.
back. You know.
You
was so-
you were saying you weren't even born when
No,
the
I
first
was born in
Stargate came out?
'98. No.
That's a dude. That's
I was like 9 months old when he first made an appearance in Stargate, you know.
I don't know how to process that. You know
It's
what I mean?
it's
Sorry.
a generational series,
It worked.
and it worked.
No, but I was
It's-
asking.
Nicole.
I was gonna say Nick.
Oh, that's
Okay,
perfect.
we
call her
do
Nick.
that, do that, yeah.
I was just asking her, and what do you think? I'm curious. Like, do the special effects still hold up?
90% of the time, I think they do. Honestly, it does so well. You know, like so many episodes from season 1, you're like, damn, that's still really good. And the first episode you appeared in, which was A Matter of Time, it was incredible. Like
Oh,
that
man,
whole
was that-
episode, you
that's
got
a
a really
powerful
good
one.
first episode to start up in.
Yeah.
You got really
Right.
Yeah.
iconic.
No, but it is. But it's a trip because I wonder if. Well, actually, no. I'm thinking like because sometimes you see a movie and be totally blown away.
Oh, yeah.
And then 10 years later, it'll be.
Yeah, no.
It looks. You know.
As far as I'm concerned, 95-96% of the
Still holds up
effects
pretty good?
completely hold up. There
Yeah.
was like one pass through the Stargate where they just did a fade instead of like a puddle interaction, and I was like, what the heck is that?
It's amazing.
You
And
can do better. That's
yeah,
not $5,000 a puddle pass.
Yep.
And now that's a free app for your phone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh my
You
God,
download that.
Things
Star-
like that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
well,
like literally, you can. Somebody showed me. They said you can get a Gate app, and it just like.
the deepfake technology is
yeah,
just
yeah.
Oh, it's
absolutely
getting
mind
good,
blowing.
yeah.
The one that they spent how many millions of dollars to bring Tarkin and Leia back to life in Rogue One.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
And online, the people were doing it better with the deepfake
Yeah, I
technology
saw
that
some
they
of that.
eventually switched over to that themselves.
No kidding.
Hire the
And
deep
it's just-
fakers.
It's just
Yeah.
extraordinary.
See, but it's also it's like all that tech. It's like you go to the moon the first time. It
Right.
Takes, but the second time you got all the information because
yeah, and then you're sleeping on the memory foam. So, microwaves we only have microwaves because of World War II.
This is true.
So, it's just
apparently when microwave first came out, like in the 50s or maybe in the 40s, but in the 50s, like you could do a pot roast in like 90 seconds. Like
My
it was
Lord.
too powerful. Way too powerful. Like I'm not kidding. You
That's
could take
why
a
they didn't want
frozen-
your face at the
Yeah.
microwave because those old ones would blow your
Yeah,
brains
no,
out.
you could get a frozen pot roast and you'd be eaten 3 minutes later, and it was like, okay, let's back off a little bit. And it was way too insane.
Yeah, I still don't believe in those low power settings. I'm like, nah, they're
Nah,
just put there
Max.
for show.
Just go for Max.
But here we
always.
are. So
I know.
Stargate of old, and
Yeah,
you're the young,
Stargate of
the
young.
young buck.
Yes, I am. It's,
Stargate of really old. No.
I was just saying he looks great. You know, it's been
He
20 years. You
does.
look fantastic, man.
So.
Honestly, what face cream are you using? What virgins are you
Vitamins.
I'm using
sacrificing?
a big bottle of Polly Shore every morning. I just put it on my face.
Take it on.
and it's good.
I hope to look half as good as you when I get older. So,
Right.
So what's up with you? What's going on these days?
yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
It
Brilliant.
was the best of times. It was the worst of times. But it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. Probably the biggest thing. And this is the first time I've said anything to anyone because also you don't want to jinx anything. Well, actually,
Touch wood,
let me
always
do a
touch wood.
build up. Here's
I
my
think I
build-up.
have an idea, but
Here's
go
my
ahead.
build up. No, I was up for.
Oh, okay.
I was pinned. They put a pin in me for the new Walking Dead TV show. Get a great read. Like, yeah, hey man, there's a pin in you. You're in the running. It's looking good. Didn't happen.
Ooh.
Okay.
Great gig.
Yeah.
Then this wonderful part in Fargo came up, and I'm like, oh,
Okay.
yeah, right. Didn't happen. Oh God.
Life of an actor, my goodness.
Then Beverly Hills
That's how it
Cop 4 came up. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, with Judge Ryan. I think they got the
really?
original cast too. I don't know, but I believe it's with Judge Reinhold, and they got anyway. So, and
Eddie
boom,
Murphy.
callback. I'm like, awesome. So I had to go out to Los Angeles, met with the people, the people in power, and no, didn't happen. So I just stopped talking about anything. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I'd like a sandwich because I had a feeling that somebody would rip it out of my mouth at the last second, and I'd starve to death. So there was one thing I was kind of holding off on, waiting on, and it's gone through. So it's a small part, but that's okay. Kevin Costner is doing a 4-picture project, 4 feature films called Horizon.
Ooh.
And it's basically, from what little I know about it, the different perspectives of how the West was won or lost, depending on your point of view. Everything from the indigenous
That
people's
sounds
point
really
of view.
fascinating. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
just somebody who's just off the boat from wherever. You know what I mean? And so it's
it's historical.
Yeah, 4 films. I'm in all 4.
Are they shooting simultaneously?
No,
Like
no,
Iwo Jima
no. They're
and,
going to shoot it. They'll
okay.
probably do some. I don't know.
Okay.
know. But I'm
But you're in
just
all
so
4 of them.
blessed to say that I'll be in all 4, and I'm so looking forward
And
to it.
Costner's amazing.
Yeah.
His work on Yellowstone has just been
Totally.
extraordinary.
So it's myself. Well, I shouldn't say myself, but it's Sam Worthington.
Oh, juicy.
Will Patton from Falling Skies.
Yeah.
okay.
Right. I haven't seen Will in years.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Yeah, and Luke Wilson is
Yep.
is in it. And
Okay.
of course Kevin. And I don't want to
Yeah.
get the actress wrong, but anyway, so it's
a
like
4-film
way
series.
to go, man. So I'm just
is great.
so privileged and humbled and grateful to be a part of this, and it shoots in Utah too. So it's like, so I leave here, I go back once I'm done with the convention, and then I land and go back. I'm going up to Moab to begin
Great area.
the stuff. So I'm
Beautiful.
I'm super happy
That's
about
fantastic.
it. So it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Good deal. This
Yeah.
is terrific, and he could not have happened to a better human being.
You seem like a
that-
really nice human being. I've just met you, but you seem wonderful. I assumed you'd be nice because you seem like a really great character, and I was like, man, that guy better be great behind the scenes. And you seem really awesome. So, you know.
Remington and my other Nicole went up from SG1 Props, went up to see him in a local production.
Yeah, I came out and
And-
saw me in
Oh, wow.
That was a trip.
Yeah.
Let me tell a little bit of that story. So,
Okay.
so once New York went wacko,
Yeah.
went out to visit some family in Utah, right? And I'm out there, and I thought, well, cool, awesome, because it's a wonderful place
Yeah.
in southwest Utah, which is just
I've seen
gorgeous and
pictures. It seems
beautiful.
really
It's
nice.
awesome. Anyway, so I thought, well, I want to do some theater. Like I'm an actor. Actors act. Waiters wait around for the phone to ring. And I thought, okay, cool. So auditions came up for Oliver. And I thought, wonderful. And I don't sing or dance. I mean, I can hold a tune. I'm not afraid to do it, but I can't dance for beans. Anyway, long story short. So we go to the audition, and we're doing dance stuff, and people are looking over saying, isn't that Major Davis from Stargate SG1? And it was weird. So it was nice to get a dose of, don't be thinking you're all that, whatever. You're still just a dude named Colin, and this is an audition, and you're gonna look like an idiot, and you're gonna look foolish, but that's what life's all about. You know what I mean? If you ever want to master something, you got to start off as a bit of a fool. So it was great. So auditioned, and I got a part, and you came out.
He was Bill Sykes.
Yeah, it was
That's
Bill Sykes,
awesome.
and it was awesome, and it was worth doing. And I met some wonderful people.
It was a really great. It was
know?
it was surrounded. They were in the middle. It
Oh,
was like
I
a
love
converted
that.
church or something. It
Yeah,
was like
yeah,
this
yeah.
huge theater space. But the thing is, the next morning, Nicole and I woke up. We were both like, I had nightmares all night long. It was because of him.
But it really
he was so intense.
I was going to say that's good. That's
the
good art,
performance
that's good
was just
acting.
like it took us all aback, and
And it was wonderful. And I met, some local actors that were wonderful actors, and it was great. And we got to break bread, and some of my best friends now are from.
If you ever do theatre
from
in the
Utah.
UK, I'd love to come and see.
Oh, I'd
I'm so
love to.
far away that I don't get to see some of the things over here. So
I'd
it'd be
love
really, really
to.
nice.
One of my favorite actors that's ever walked the face of the planet is Michael Gambon. I'm just
Oh
like,
my, yeah.
okay.
wow. I used to watch The Singing Detective on a loop. It was just, his work in that is just so mind-blowing.
Who are you looking forward to catching up with here? Now practically 20 years into this thing.
God, everybody that's a part of Gatecon, really? How do you look?
That's the perfect answer.
Well, you just don't. Well, no, you don't. Who are you going to single out after 20 years? You know what I mean? You're just.
Well, I would single out you.
You're just.
There's a reason you're
Thanks,
number
man.
one on this call
No,
sheet.
but you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you're
So-
already my number one, and I've just met you. I haven't met anybody else. So
No, thank you, But it's great. It's just great. Like I said, it's weird because again, when you do the show, like you're just hoping to get a day so you can pay the rent or help to pay the rent.
yeah.
And you do the best you can, and wow, they brought you back twice. So that'll be that. They'll
Well, you're
never
back like
there'll never be any
17
more.
times in the end.
Yeah, and then you get to do these conventions, and you don't expect to do another one after that one, and the whole time you're kind of growing as a human being as well, and it's just a trip. Then all of a sudden you wake up one morning and you realize the line doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. It's now you're not a thread in a fabric versus I'm the guests say, and those are the fans. It just
At some point, you became woven in.
Yeah.
And you probably weren't even aware of when it happened.
No, and now
know?
I show up and I don't know if I don't know if I'm saying hello to an actor that was on the show or somebody that flew in from Poland. I mean, it's all just they're just awesome. It's just great, But it is great. Also, it's the only time I get to see guys like Gary Jones and J.R. Bourne. So unfortunately, because I'm not living in Vancouver so much anymore, so I'm not bumping into everyone at auditions and stuff. So, and it's a trip. because everyone looks a little older, you know.
Right.
You're looking great.
Except you look fabulous.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. You lie through your teeth and you
I'm
see,
not
"Oh,
lying."
You look great. You look wonderful. But it's a trip. There's a couple extra lines. It's like, oh, okay, well, we're all.
I think it's distinctive. If anything else.
But it's again though, we're not talking about Stargate anymore. We're talking about people that you're watching age
Yeah, the passage
over
of
your
time.
lifetime.
Yeah,
And
that's
this is part of your world, and this is part of the experience. So yeah, I'm a little older, and so are you, and so are you. And so again, that line, all of a sudden you start seeing yourself reflected back everywhere you look, and it's a powerful thing. You
I
know?
hope you see a lot of, happy memories and good magic along the way when you look back.
Yeah.
Because life can be quite, like a dark path sometimes. There are some great moments of hope. And Stargate's always been a place that I've gone to in order to, seek out that family and hope and stuff.
That's
And
what's so cool about
that's
this
what's
place.
so
It's
cool.
kind of a mecca.
That's why I'm so excited to be at Gatecon, because I get to kind of join everybody and join in the Canada-ness of everything, because I've always
The
missed out on
Canada-ness.
that because I'm in England, and it's really lovely to actually come in and see everybody and
How
reunite.
so you were born before the show.
1998,
Okay,
yeah,
so at what age did somebody put a Stargate
My
episode in a
dad.
bottle and then have you nurse
5
on it
years
for an
old.
hour? Or what?
5
5 years
old.
old.
He was like, "Here you go. You're gonna sit through this," and I was like, "Okay." Yeah, and now I'm
That's-
obsessed.
wow.
So he really shouldn't have done that. But in the end, it's been really, really beneficial, and it's been really healthy and fun. And Stargate's always been a really nice way to go about life.
No,
It
look.
teaches you a lot of good things.
I will say, because it's a values-based
Correct.
thing,
Yeah.
and not that.
These are heroes. These people are heroes
Yeah.
that you can emulate.
Yeah.
Your character always had such good values, and you could always trust your character to be the really good diplomat who was always kind of following the rules and kind of been oh, we're in a bit of a sticky situation, but you were always so great, and it's that guy, I look up to that guy because he's just always trying to do the right thing no matter how much
No,
it
and
sucks.
I think that's perhaps the staying power.
Just
I'm looking
Oh, I
looking
need
at
to
myself
win
to
now.
see if I'm
Yeah.
bringing you in, but there's not such a left.
Closer to you, how's
Yeah, there
that?
we
How's
go.
that?
But yeah,
I think
but-
she's fallen off the screen. So
But things that well, first off, it's based on mythology.
yeah,
And these are archetypes. They're I don't want to say archaic as in old, but archaic as in these are the rules. This is the fundamentals. This is the fundamental story. There is good, there is bad, there is a journey. Dragons are slayed, in terms of your fear.
There was
and
a
you
dragon
you know what I
eventually.
mean?
Yeah,
there
there
was
a dragon in
eventually a
Stargate.
dragon.
But metaphorically and otherwise,
the things that you have to
Yeah, no.
to defeat in your life are represented in one form or another
Yeah.
in the people whom we watch and fall in love with on the show.
Yeah, and you come out changed.
Yeah,
At
as
least
a result.
the characters and you
And-
as the
and the
viewer as
fans,
well.
yeah.
Yeah. So you get
Yeah.
to take the journey together.
I
so
definitely
it's good
feel
stuff.
like Stargate was so educational and helpful for people, and really helped them through rough times. And it's always no matter what, at the end of the day, being the good guy may not always be easy, but it's doable and achievable, and it's important to kind of stick to your morals. And it's always,
Yeah.
you're an important character that taught us a lot of that. So thank you for
Well,
helping raise me.
Well,
Good
I'll tell
job.
you, I was maybe the face of it, but you still have to. I just think to Brad and Joe
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and
Robert
and
Cooper and-
Cooper. Yeah, I
and
mean,
Jonathan
because
Glassner
and I don't know, and God bless you, MGM, for making the show and keeping it going. But oftentimes, it might be you might veer off into fads, or this is kind of the zeitgeist. We're going to do this for the next couple of months because this is what. But I know it was those people that if it started to veer, if corporate said, let's try this, boom, let's get back to the middle. Let's get
Correct.
back.
Yep.
Let's get back online. Because they never forgot this is what this thing's about. And it
Correct.
It really is astonishing that they were able to keep that as fresh and.
Fun.
Because after a while, it's like, okay, it's another episode of Happy Days, and Potsy has, gotten his keys stuck in a
At
hat
some point
or
you
something.
jump the
know what I mean?
shark.
Yeah, you jump the shark. Exactly.
Sooner or later. So
Stargate never jumped the shark.
I don't think so. There will be a few who would argue it, but
No, and
they
if they
went
did-
out of their way to keep it fresh.
Yes, and if
relevant.
anything, when they jumped the shark, they knew they were jumping the shark, and it was
Right.
a play on jumping the shark.
That's
It's
for
like,
sure.
let's
For sure.
200 and
yeah, it was a
and
wink,
Wormhole
wink.
Extreme.
Yeah,
and-
we're jumping the
Yep.
shark, and let's all have a fun jumping the shark. so, but yeah, so it's that's not easy to do.
true.
It's just not easy to do.
And it was a great collective effort. Everyone did such an amazing job collectively.
Yeah.
I mean, you did a great job with the material you were given, and you managed to do a fantastic job with it. And it's just, I honestly, it's a testament to Stargate that it's still we're here today, because it's just changed so many people's lives.
There
And
hasn't been a broadcast episode since 2010, 2011.
Yeah, and it's
but
still.
we're here, and those people who made those last episodes are here.
You know, you still
and-
air every day in the UK. Like every day, you're on like the main 2 channels in the UK on Sky.
I'll tell you, I tripped out just as an actor once, and I've told this story before, but I was somewhere else. Somewhere that wasn't
He was
America
somewhere
or
else.
Canada, but it was,
Yep,
and it was
North
great to be
America,
there
yeah.
because it's like, wow, I'm here. But I went back to my motel and I flipped on the TV and there was Stargate.
Yep.
Only the guy was speaking German.
Oh,
Right.
goodness.
Yeah, and I thought, wow, like there's a guy
Yeah.
that got a job speaking
Correct.
German, and I guess his vocal whatever kind of matched mine a little bit or whatever they were going for. But I thought, wow, that's employment. Like that's
Correct.
And I did a convention in France, which was so wonderful, and I got to meet the French man and woman who did the voices for Homer and Marge Simpson. And
Yeah.
what was super cool is that they met at the audition. They both got gigs, and they got married like
That's
3, 4, 5
beautiful.
Oh,
years
you're
later. Yeah, they got
kidding! The
married.
Homer and
Wow.
Marge of Germany.
Yeah, and no, France.
excuse me.
France.
But I just thought, like this, whatever it is that we do, there's so much more
Yeah.
to it, man. There just really, really is.
There's
And
so many
it's
levels,
wonderful.
so many
Yeah.
faucets, as we would say, not facets.
Colin, this has been great getting to catch up with you. I'm so glad that you're back here at the event.
Yeah.
People are chomping at the bit to meet you, for the folks who you know,
Oh, I
been
was so
brought up
excited.
and-
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So I am privileged to call you a friend, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were here with us
No,
this
likewise.
weekend.
Likewise. Thank you both.
Yeah, thank you for
very,
being
very
you.
much.
Absolutely. Alan, thank you so much for continuing to manage backstage.
Alan's in there, right?
He's in there, yeah, on the other side. So
Thanks, buddy.
we'll be back with more Dial the Gatecon Foothold live preview night right after this. We're back on Dial the Gatecon Foothold. I have Tommy Taylor Green. Who are you at the Companion, Tommy?
Terry Green.
Terry Green, Taylor Green. I'm sorry about that.
All right. I am a little bit of everything, but mostly a producer.
Okay, what do you do? And Jenny, Stiven. I was about to go right into it.
Hi.
So Jenny, you are with the Companion, and what do you facilitate with them?
So I'm a consultant with them for fandom development in the simplest terms, and I work with Tommy on anything that's Stargate related, and with some of their other producers on X-Files, Buffy, etc.
So Jenny, you may recognize Jenny from our previous episodes, where we've had an industry consultant on to discuss what's the goings on with the next Stargate and with MGM and what's happening. So I assume we're still treading water.
We are still treading water,
Okay, very good.
contrary to other conversation.
Right. You know, so one day it's like it's one thing, another day it's like it's another, and there's YouTube channels that say one
No,
thing and say another. But anyway,
And to be fair, it's because there are multiple meetings happening all the time. So the marketing meeting over here is having one conversation, content development's having another, Amazon's creative studios are having another. So you could hear rumors out of each one of those meetings, and they might contradict each other.
absolutely.
So we stick with treading water.
So you're from the UK.
I am, yeah.
So welcome to Vancouver. Have you been to Vancouver before?
I've never been to Vancouver, no.
Okay. Have you been to Canada before?
I've been to Canada before, yeah.
All
Long
right.
time. I went skiing on the other coast, the other side. So yeah, first time over this side.
What
Not
do you?
Whistler? You haven't been skiing at Whistler?
No, I went to Blue Mountain, if you know.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of Vancouver so far?
I've seen mostly this hotel, but this hotel's great.
And Walmart.
and
I
Walmart.
took him to Walmart.
Oh, you took him to
Went to
Walmart.
my
Okay.
first ever Walmart
I've
today.
never seen a Walmart in Canada in the 20 years
pretty
that I've
much
done
the
this.
same.
Okay, very good. So the Companion is doing what at this event? What are you guys facilitating?
Here, this weekend, we are running basically with the official Gatecon app partner. So we've got the full itinerary on there, guest bios, all sorts of things like that. So you can find out when different photo ops are, when different panels are, all that kind of stuff.
So if you're local, but also if you're planning on watching online this weekend, it's a good utility to have, and it's free?
Yeah, so for this weekend, you can join on a free trial just to check out the Gatecon stuff, but you can also check out the other companion content.
Okay. Is the Gatecon content accessible for anybody?
You have to sign up to that. It's
have to
on,
sign up to
yeah,
that.
if you go to the companion.app/Gatecon, you'll see a link just on that
It's
page
just
there.
a registration, though.
This is just a registration. No, you're not
Email-
asking any money.
No, email
Okay.
registration only.
So if I'm in the App Store, what do I type in to get the Companion
Best
app?
way to find the app on the App Store is to search the Companion for Sci-Fi. And
The
it'll be the first
Companion
one that
for
comes up.
Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
And it's a C, right? That's kind of like a
Yeah.
distorted.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then if you go into Stargate, I believe.
It's,
is
if
the
you go
sub-
to My
then
Feeds,
My
Gatecon,
Feeds, Gatecon.
and then you can see it there. Yeah.
So that's going to have the updated list of the goings-on over the weekend. At Gatecon, the schedule, like tonight, tends to slide a little bit. So do keep that in mind. They'll keep people updated as
Yeah, if that
they
happens
go.
as well, and you've got your notifications on, we'll send you a blast saying, okay, this has been moved, that's been moved. So
And
yeah.
the feed will be live, courtesy of Tommy.
Yeah.
Be keeping it up. So anything that changes in the feed, you'll be updated.
Okay.
Correct.
So if you're planning on attending either online through the various live streams that are going to be available, or you're here locally in Vancouver and Richmond, this really is a must-have because it's going to have the complete rundown of all the guests, when they're going to be on stage. I think photo op schedules as well,
That's
if I'm
all
not
on there.
mistaken.
Yeah, correct.
So
Yep.
that's quite a feat of engineering. So as
A lot of
people
late
who have worked
nights.
with content management systems, it's like, really, you did it all that? It does that? Okay, that's pretty legit.
And
So
welcome Tommy for that. So
Yeah. That's
really
Terry, I'm gonna
cool.
A
call
lot of
you
late
Terry.
nights building that. It was, it was good fun.
So, what has been some of your favorite content that the Stargate companion has produced? That the companion has produced for Stargate?
I think a popular answer would be the Stargate AI stuff, which, technically I'm here promoting as well. But for me personally, I really love Brad's podcast. So Brad's Conversations in Sci-Fi.
Brad
where-
Wright,
Yeah.
executive
Right,
producer.
Yeah, co-creator, all that fun stuff. Where he's just been interviewing people like Richard Dean Anderson, Amanda Tapping, Michael Shanks. And it's just great. It's so different to other interviews because you kind of just feel like you're at the pub with them and like you're overhearing their conversation and hanging out with them. And those have been really, really fun for me personally. They've been really good. Yeah.
That's legit. So, what's happening with the Companion AI project this weekend here?
So we've done a few before. We've done 2 others previously, and we're about to launch Stargate AI version 3.0, and we've got about 20 minutes preview that's never been seen before that we're showing here at Gatecon this weekend.
And which series does this focus on?
So this is for Atlantis, this one.
This
So
is
we've
for
got
Atlantis.
we've got David Hewlett, we've got Paul McGillian, we've got Tori Higginson, and Rachel Luttrell.
Ah,
It's really, really fun.
okay.
So
I know.
I can't wait.
It's a
I
good
can't
combo.
wait for people to see it.
And
It's
it's
going
a
to be
great
really good.
combo.
20-minute preview.
Yep.
When's the full version going to come out, and how long is it?
The full version will be over an hour, and that will be coming out early October. We haven't announced the date yet, but that'll be early October. There'll be a live stream, and then it will be released for companion members after that as well.
So the preview will be available for people in the live stream, or is it
No,
here
that's
locally?
people here only for
People
for
here
that
only
preview.
here.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So for those of you at home, I apologize, but I'm sure we'll get some kind of thing for Dial the Gate or something somewhere.
Oh, for
100%.
sure.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
The trailer will be coming out next week.
No, and-
so people will be able to get their eyes on it.
And you get that. So the Dial the Gate people will have that as well as I think in conjunction with
Gateworld?
yeah, I think with Gatewell, but
Yeah.
obviously.
When is that trailer?
I mean, the team back home are dealing
They're
with
working-
it.
they're dealing
Should
with
be
that.
next
Just say,
Wednesday.
I don't know,
Yeah,
David,
yeah,
I just
it
don't
should be
know.
next Wednesday. if nothing's on fire back at
No, no.
the office.
Gosh.
You don't give the day. Next week.
Yeah.
And that's
Maybe.
all you say. Next week.
Jeez, that's funny.
View every day. See that? Then they make sure they come and see you every day to come and check.
Exactly
And
right.
they're refreshing and they're checking.
So-
And then also part of that we're trying to do while we're here is that we're having lots of interaction with you for Dial the Gate Con.
Much
your
appreciative.
conversations, and we also have obviously our panel, but that'll also you'll have some stuff to show for that too after the fact. So that'll be fun.
It's
Really
going-
excited to have Lawrence Moroney here with us as well. So he's the AI
Right.
lead advocate at Google. So
Right.
he developed all of the AI technology.
Is he there this weekend?
He'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, he'll be on the panel with us.
He's
so
on the panel.
he is. I can't wait to just chat and
Like,
yeah,
what?
dive
I
into
know.
his brain because
Okay.
he's
It's gonna be so
fountain
cool.
of knowledge. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
great stuff to do.
absolutely.
Yeah.
When are you releasing Skynet?
I know. I know. It's like the perfect. When is it going to kill us all?
The gray
But other
goo
than that-
phenomenon, is that what
right.
it is?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, no, it's this is a treat to have you here. Finally meet you in person, and I'm so glad, Jenny, that you are steeped into this because I don't
Oh,
think
it's
that
been
they
a
could have
blast.
found
Are you
anyone
kidding?
better to help facilitate.
Thank you. I
So-
mean, look, fandom development, and I'm working for an application that nobody's out there doing.
Correct.
It's all about fandom. I mean, it's like bliss.
What more could you ask for?
I
Yeah, they're
know.
actually doing the thing that
I
you're
know.
suggesting.
I
So
know, exactly.
That's
my
cool.
career. Wait, there's an app for my career?
there's an app for that.
There is an app
Cool.
for that. Yeah.
I love it.
Anything else that you want to discuss or bring up or reveal or?
I don't think
Anything
so.
that we're missing?
Well, with Stargate AI version 3, when it comes out in October, this is the first one that's going to be totally free. So there's just a reg wall,
Yeah.
no payment details or
That's
anything
right.
like that. So
Okay, so you just
for-
register for it and get into it.
Yeah,
then-
exactly.
That's
So
legit.
so if anyone's been on the fence about the Companion, you can come in and check out
And
this
do-
event and
yeah.
make your mind up from there because these AI things are really good fun if you've not seen them before because
Yeah.
they are a real laugh.
It is, and I think the best part about this is that it's in front of the paywall, so you get not just a taste. The whole thing is going to be the whole hour.
Yeah, and for those who are like, okay, what's a Stargate AI? What does that mean?
You want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So
What's occurring?
this came from a conversation we had with Brad Wright. He works quite closely with us at the Companion, and we were talking about how can we do like a reunion kind of table read thing. And there's a lot of problems with MGM owning a lot of rights and things like that. And Brad, who's always had a fascination with artificial intelligence and AI, kind of said, well, why don't we just put the feelers out there and get AI to write a script and we get people to do that? And so we did that about a year ago now. And it was a bit bonkers, but in a really fun way. It was a real, crazy script that it churned out. So it basically read every single Stargate script and then wrote its own one. I say it as if it's, physically. It's just
David Hewlett said it was like watching his son Baz when he was really little
Yes.
writing a script. It's like a child
Yeah.
creating a script. When you look at it that way, it's in one part amazing, one part very intimidating.
Yeah.
Because it's like but it's only as good as what you put into it.
Well, and
Exactly.
that's what Lawrence
So-
Moroney always says. And it's still, when you hear Lawrence talk about it, it is his baby. And when you hear him talk about it and the amount that he puts into it, what comes out of it is definitely his love. He loves it.
There are a few of these AI script things out there, but what he's doing things totally different to everyone else. He's created basically an AI for each character. So there's a
So is there a
Sam
personality
Carter bot.
complex inside?
So
of
we
the-
actually released a video called Jack's Brain. So we did.
You gotta check it out.
I'm not sure I want to see
it's
that.
really interesting.
Look inside
So
there. It'd be like chaos,
it's
like the Q
basically-
continuum.
It's 8 dimensions. The way it works, and he's got this
Wow.
3D representation of it, and it kind of looks
Based
like a
on
brain.
Jack's
Based on
personality.
every line Jack has ever said.
Yes.
And what it does is it
Interesting.
looks at how Jack speaks to Sam, how Jack speaks to Daniel,
Right.
and it has different responses to each. So it'll talk
Correct,
to,
because
if it's Hammond, he's
Right.
addressing
much
him
more
as
formal.
exactly
But
right.
including the ancient download. So those scripts were included as well. So part of what the AI downloaded was the insanity that came out, which was the brainchild of Brad and those guys. But it was all downloaded, so the AI was crunching that as if that was part of Jack's brain, which it was.
That's
I
just
mean, how
craziness.
cool is that?
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see what you guys
It's getting
have to
really
bring
good.
out.
It's
and-
getting really good. It's getting now. It's at the stage where, as you said before, it's like his son, like a child was writing. Now it's at like a bad screenwriter. So it's kind of like someone who's written a first draft and never read back through it.
I remember we said last time, it was like, oh, that was a really good grad script.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it's
Not to
as
put
long
down
as it
grads.
just keeps on getting better. I mean, I'm sure Miles Dyson said something similar at some
Right,
point. But
right.
I mean, it's all good. So it's going to keep getting better. So and let's see what happens next with it, as long as it doesn't take over Atlantis. So and the AI kicks out a script where Atlantis' artificial intelligence kills the crew.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yep. I can
All
see
right.
that.
guys, it's been a pleasure. Jenny, thank you for coming back. Tommy,
Always.
pleasure to meet you, sir.
you.
So download the Companion app at so the companion.app is the website.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the Companion
For
sci-fi
It's the best way to
in
find it on the App Store
the
or
App
Google
Stores.
Play. Yeah.
So sweet. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you so much for tuning in to Dial the Gatecon Foothold. We're celebrating Gatecon being back for its 13th year here in 2022. We'll see you right after this. Thanks so much. Welcome back to Dial the Gatecon. My name is David Reed, and thank you so much for joining us. Jenny, can you mute your end, please, on your phone? I'm getting a reverb through my phone. Just mute your phone there. Thank you. It's muted. Thank you so much for joining us. Val Halverson, costume designer.
Hello.
Stargate SG-1 seasons 9 and 10, Atlantis seasons 4 and 5,
Yes.
and all of Universe.
Yes.
Whew.
Phew.
It's a lot of TV.
My goodness.
Fabulous TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You've got some of the more fabulous moments as well. Like a lot of costume changes happened around that time.
and
Are we
she
talking
helped
about
evolve a
Timecodes?
lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Microphone did. There you
Yes.
go. Just your face. Tell us, we haven't seen, like Universe went off the air 10 years ago.
Yes. Sadly.
And, you know, these things are still happening.
I know. Well,
Why?
it's just so interesting, and I think it speaks to so many people because all the creatures had such characters, you know, and I think we all can relate to them. And there were so many great stories told by, you know, Brad and Robert and Joe and Paul and Carl and Martin. I mean, they just told such great stories. I think we can all identify with somebody in there.
Absolutely. And when you look back, because you and I have been going through building a, Oh yeah, just when you speak into it, just a little bit closer. Is it picking up at all? Testing 1, 2. Okay. Not? No, but it's behind the schedule. Here, let's switch that.
All right.
Jenny, are we getting sound? Okay, then we're good. You and I have been going through a spreadsheet that we're going to present to the viewers for free if you're at home or at the convention in the next couple of days. And the sheer volume of costumes
Yes.
that were developed from a countless series of different races and species. What are some of your most memorable, you know, that we've been looking back on?
Well, I think one of my most memorable ones is my first one I ever did. So I came to Stargate initially to work with assist Christine Mooney, one of the most fabulous designers on Stargate, and that was in season 9 of SG-1. And yeah, unfortunately, she had to step away, and I was lucky enough to be trusted by Brad and Robert to test as a costume designer for the series.
Is that like the normal process of something like that when you're coming into a long-running show?
I'm not
you- so
always,
you weren't
but
expecting this?
I wasn't necessarily expecting
Okay.
it, and I was fairly new, and I just think Brad and Robert believe in family,
Yeah.
and they always have. And so they gave me an opportunity, and my first costume design was for Adria.
Woo!
Okay.
Her Ori.
Marina
armor.
Baccarin.
Marina
Okay,
Baccarin.
so
Fabulous
we're talking
outfits.
the
I'm very excited to
so
talk about
this
it.
is the Quest 1 and 2. So this is season 10.
Yes, yes.
Okay, the Quest 1 and 2.
Yes. And Ball.
Oh, fabulous man as well.
So
He looked great in that get-up.
He looked great in everything. Cliff
That's
was
true.
an amazing actor and person.
He wore the costumes. The costumes did not
Yeah.
wear him.
But I remember, you know, presenting a sketch to Robert, as you know, well, I was thinking along this lines, and I went into his office because he said, "Well, can you show me something tomorrow?" I hadn't really sort of gotten the job yet, and I walked into this office, and I mean, he's a very nice man, but he's quite
He's so low.
intimidating.
He's low key.
Exactly.
He's like you can't tell what he's thinking.
Less words are more
Right.
intimidating than lots of words. So as my knees were knocking and my voice was cracking, and but I had come from a fashion design background, so I had, you know, known how to sketch and sort of understood the process and stuff. So I went in there and showed him, and he said, "Oh, I didn't think you'd do this much work. I think we can go ahead with it."
Oh, so
And-
you went above and beyond what he
Oh,
was
yeah.
expecting.
Well, I really wanted to be a part of this family, you know, and
Okay.
stay a part of the family. So I did, and I was thinking about Christine Mooney had done the Ori and had
Yes.
done these incredible costumes. And I kept thinking, what would Adria want? She's a little princess, right? And she would just want exactly what the boys had, but she'd want it her way, and she'd want to buy it like at, you know, the Gucci store kind of version.
Yeah.
So I kind of shrunk the whole thing down and made hers quite feminine, and pitched that.
And they went for it.
Yeah, I was really proud of that one.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, you helped evolve the Atlantis uniform look. Is that correct?
Yes, and when I took over Atlantis, Christina McQuarrie was going on to do the movies, and so
Yes.
they needed somebody to come in and take that. And I just felt like there was a little room to maybe modify them a bit. She had done a great job, but I wanted to make them a little more fitted and And that, so I redesigned the costumes for our main, you know, keeping those beautiful, you know, color coding for their departments and everything.
I was gonna say I noticed a change and I really loved it when it happened. I was like, oh damn, that's. Oof.
I always
was
wanted
really
to know. In the season, there's an episode where they make a comment that the old ones used
Bunch
to
up
ride
under the
up
arms.
onto the back.
Yep.
Is that because of the evolution that you gave them some shoulder space to work with it? Because there's like a pocket
There
in
is.
the
I always
back
noticed
that
that,
allows
yeah.
them to do
Yeah.
that.
We like to call that a flange.
Ah,
Learning
so that's a
things.
costume flange as opposed to a go old flange.
Exactly.
Like more. Oh, geez, that's funny. Okay, a
And,
flange.
yeah, and it's like an action detail for
Okay.
them. And like I said, I come from sort of fashion, and I had some
Yeah.
idea of how to make things and design things.
Just
Some.
Just a little bit. And then I also pitched in that same meeting with Paul and Joe and them, and of course Brad and Robert. I was saying, and I was just thinking that maybe they'd like a little something new to go off world, and they were like, I think we're good now. I'm sorry, what? And so then I got to make all their new leather outfits, and of course
I
we
love
just
those ones.
went
They
to
were
town.
fabulous.
I mean, I think
whoever thought David Hewlett could be sexy.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
did you notice his pocket protector on the side of his leather jacket? Though
Yeah,
I like the character details.
Yes.
We want to continue to tell our stories of the characters all the way through, no matter what they're wearing. They have to stay who they are. Right?
I
so
actually
good.
had a question about Universe, which is like, they're going to be going onto that ship and stuck with the same outfit that whole time.
Right.
How did you like prepare and go, oh, what do we need to give these people, because they're going to be wearing these things for so long? And did you make any adjustments as time went on? Like, how did that go?
I mean, it was really a big discussion in the beginning because, of course, we layered people up, so there was some flexibility and
Right.
to keep the interest going. And also, layers tell a story of texture
Correct.
and color and that. But it was about the fact that we didn't have to follow a particular uniform for the military. It was an original military, and so we had a lot of talks. And of course, as you see, my favorite color is black. But black also was the ideal choice because it fades, it shows dirt, you
Okay.
know, and people they'd always been in lighter colors, right?
Yeah, the
And-
greens and blues and
yeah,
sand. Yeah.
and grays
Wow.
and stuff on it. So we went with black. We also made every single uniform from the shirts to everything because we had to have 12, 20 of everything. Because, knowing it was a
Whoa.
Stargate, we were probably going
Right.
to go 5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
right? So we needed to control that environment.
Wow.
And then the other thing is I wanted to go even sexier on these
Ooh.
outfits. So Alana Huffman, I wanted her to just be fitted. So her pants have a seam down the back that makes them perfectly fit. So every single person's outfit fit them beautifully. And the only one we did authentically was Sergeant Greer.
Yes.
As a Marine, you don't
You didn't mess with the
that.
Marine.
No, you don't mess with that, and it should look a certain way. And so he carried that authenticity as part of the show.
How did the Air Force feel about you guys going in a different direction with this particular version of the Air Force? Was the excuse that they are super paramilitary because they're off-world in their own undisclosed bunker somewhere? That was kind of the excuse for that?
I believe so. I mean, it
Okay.
was way above my
Yeah.
my pay grade, that discussion, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and we had really close relationships with
Right.
liaisons. I mean, I always, love telling that story about SG1 when we were doing the Joint Chiefs of Staffs meeting, and it was so hot. It was 100 degrees. And so they came running into me and said, can we take off? All the 4-star general, the Air Force, the
Correct.
Army, everything was in there. And they said, can we take our jackets off? And I was like, I don't know the answer. I'm sure there is a correct answer. So I dialed Doug Tharr, who was sitting in the Pentagon. And that's how close we were with our
Wow.
liaisons.
That's incredible.
We moved eventually to the LA liaisons, but originally Stargate had connections.
Pentagon off,
Well, I
wow.
won't say connections. I'll say.
But
we
a
had-
representative that
and he
you spoke
called,
with.
He took my call, and I said, "Can they take their jackets off?" And the answer to that, in case anybody wants to know, is if the President of the United States says, "Gentlemen, feel free to remove your jackets," you can take your jacket off and put it on the back of your chair. And of
But
course,
that's it.
we put them on the back with all the ribbons still showing, and we made sure they were well represented. Because it's pretty impressive when they're all in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
dress
As long as the
uniform.
president gives them permission to do that, like
Yeah.
that's
I didn't know that. That was absolutely,
Uh-huh.
wow, that's very interesting. My goodness.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stargate was it's a phenomenon.
It is. It
It
is.
is, yeah.
I actually, as another follow-up. Honestly, the costumes are incredible. I love the fact that in Atlantis you got to work with Taylor and giving her, you know, the wonderful maternity outfits. How did that go?
Well, that was very interesting. It's interesting that you say wonderful because I remember like feeling like I was on a treadmill for, you know, probably 5 months of that because sometimes we would be shooting an episode and she would be changing shape as the episode went on.
Wow.
So when you see some of the sketches that we're going to show on Saturday, you'll see like the insets of, you know, stretched fabric and the ruffles and everything. Everything kind of moved and expanded and did things like that, and that's how we dealt with it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super fun, and we were changing. She was probably having 3 new ones in episodes,
Which is
sometimes.
both exhausting and really exciting at the
Really
same time, I
exciting
imagine.
to go with. It was a challenge because there was other people on the show.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but
But she looked the
she's
most
so
fantastic. She had
Correct.
the best pregnancy on Stargate, I think, in terms of fabulousness.
She was my queen.
Yeah.
I love working with Taylor.
What was it like working with Chloe? The oh gosh, memory
Oh,
failing me now.
Elise.
Elise
Elise
Levesque.
Levesque.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's so
Because you got to be more not military with her.
right,
You know,
very
you got to-
civilian.
yeah,
because
exactly.
of course she was her dad's, the daughter
Of the senator.
a senator, and so I wanted her to look a little bit privileged and a little
Silver
bit
spoon.
certainly out of place, and that she thought that was appropriate to go to this meeting. And then of course she was really out of place. And
Now she's
really,
stuck in those.
Yeah, with some
Yeah.
knee-high boots and things like that, you know. So that was a really fun one, actually. And then eventually she got into a yoga outfit.
Yeah, did she happen to have that in her bag?
She
or-
did, because she would
Wonderful.
carry her bag.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the thing. I really love just watching the way that everyone's outfits like may or may not change depending on what they had with them.
Right.
And so when you go see her transition from the dress to the like yoga outfit,
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, damn, really convenient you had that with you at that exact moment. Thank
You
goodness.
know, we would have had something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the great plot twists of the show, I think, in Universe, when a time travel incident creates a whole thing of humans, a whole civilization of humans in the galaxy that they're flying in. And I was always thinking, okay, this is a chance for them to go down to a human planet
Yeah.
and raid a few stores and get some other
Clothes.
out of duty, at least for when they're off duty, clothing,
Yeah.
something else to wear.
Yeah.
And in the script, Ming-Na's character does get another outfit near the end of the show, but that was pretty much it. I was like, you
That
know,
was-
if you're gonna story-wise create opportunities to shake up some looks,
Yeah.
that's a good one. But
Yes.
I think you guys were just dialed in to the fact that we've got our clothing figured out already from day one.
I
We're
feel like
going
the
to continue
clothing
to
was
move
their
forward
own like
with this.
character kind of defining thing
Yeah.
for everybody. Everybody had their own. Their outfits kind of defined where they were and what kind of civilian or military personnel they were.
And you had to continue to have the nameplates for the body swapping.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was
That
so
was key to
cool.
that.
Oh, that was so good.
Yep.
When you'd see, and sometimes they were quite different,
Huh?
right? In the same outfit.
Oh, the costumes are clearly fitting a different person.
Yeah.
There's no, or the alien. You know, when they have the
Oh,
CG
in
alien
in Young's outfit,
in Young's outfit,
yeah.
it's like, okay, there are some things that you're just going to have to assume that makes sense for the person.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Well, this is terrific to have you this weekend here.
Thank you.
It's
I'm
going
really
to be
excited to be here.
wonderful to have you for the meet and greet. I hope you can stick around for a little bit.
Sure.
Let people know who you are.
Okay.
And I can't wait to have you this weekend as we go through our slideshow and
Oh,
walk
I'm
down
so
memory
excited.
lane.
Yeah, we're gonna get cut off because we've got so much to say. They're gonna.
We'll do what we have
give
to
us
do.
one of those.
So you and I may
right?
have to go through and just say, okay, yeah, just keep on going.
Yeah.
Okay, no, go back. Okay, there. I'll talk about that
I've
one.
got a story. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've got
We
some
have like
stories.
200 images to go through. It's like, oh, and I don't have control over the images, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be a blast, one way or the other.
It
and
is.
so Dial the Gatecon, that content is going to be available for free on the Dial the Gate channel. So we're gonna be back with you later this weekend.
Look forward to it.
Big
Thank
excitement.
you so much, Val.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to Dial the Gatecon. Jenny, we're gonna go to a break here and be back in just a couple of moments. thank you for being on.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Great.
See you soon. And we're back for more Dial the Gatecon Foothold right here in Richmond, British Columbia, Canada. Jeff Gulka,
Hello.
you are the key to the whole X-Files.
Indeed you are.
And he was Ritu Charlie on Stargate SG-1 and Show and Tell. Did you bring Mother?
Growing up.
I'll never tell.
That's great. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So how you doing?
Oh, fantastic. Yourself?
I'm well. It's great to be back to another convention. We did one 4 years ago. We had one scheduled for 2020, and then things.
Yes.
Hashtag things, and so here we are. So it's great to have you part of this.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
So Evie is one of my co-hosts on Wormhole Extremists, and we were thinking, you know, who would we like to see? Who do we like to see in person? And it's like you were one of the top of my list. So I appreciate having you here.
Well, I appreciate that.
What's going on? What's been going on in your world?
Not much. Just living the life in White Rock, living on the beach.
Hey.
Yeah, I
Beautiful,
got some
not too
some
shabby.
pretty sweet older roommates who live upstairs.
Okay.
My parents.
Oh,
So I live in the basement suite.
So-
So it's
So is the water? Is it swimming water or is it ice cold?
people swim in it. I wouldn't, just because
No.
the water's kind of dirty, and I'm assuming sewage and stuff goes out there. But
Okay.
lots of people are completely
Yuck.
fine. But I'm also a minor germaphobe, so I just.
me too. I feel ya.
Understood. All right. What is it like coming back and being recognized for work that took place when you were just a young lad? Still people, you know, communicating with you about this thing that you did that was a part of your life so long ago. That's so much a part of all of ours. Is it kind of wild? Is it kind of like, dude, I was a kid, you know? I got a paycheck, you know, they put it in a college fund for me, and I went home.
It's a little bit of both. It's very kind of surreal because like I don't remember a lot of working on these shows. There's some like memories that are in my head, but it's really cool like going to these conventions and meeting fans and seeing like how much of a impact the show has had on them in like a positive way. So it's always nice to be just part of something that has had such a positive impact on so many people, and the fact that it's still going on right now and people are still like popular is like just crazy. Yeah.
Not just Stargate, but the X-Files too. And,
Oh, yeah,
you know, I mean, that has a rabid fan base.
Yeah, so
So-
sci-fi genre is the way to go.
Yeah. Do you have any real clear memories of filming Stargate? Like your interactions with the cast?
Yes, I remember it being quite blurry because I
Green screen?
had to wear glasses. I wore glasses since I was 6 years old.
Right.
And then
You didn't have contacts.
I didn't get contacts till the next year after filming.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
there was
I was-
it was literally a blur for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the first scene that I actually filmed was when Teal'c comes in and I go and run to Jack.
Jaffa.
And, yes, because I can remember that pretty good and just remember, wow, this is really blurry.
Mom
and
taught
hard
you not to
do.
like Jaffa.
That's
No
true.
Jaffa.
No Jaffa for you.
So, jeez. Was
Yeah.
Rick gentle?
Pardon me?
Was Rick really gentle?
Oh yeah, oh he was very kind, very kind. We'd play rock paper scissors when we were waiting and all sorts of stuff, and he was very very accommodating and nice and talkative, and that made me feel welcome.
Did you feel pressure? Because not only are you the chief, one of the chief guest stars, if not the chief guest star of that episode, Cameron Genziano comes in, but you're delivering a lot of exposition.
Mm-hmm.
Was there pressure for that, or did you have it all committed to memory before you came on set?
I'm
you-
pretty
I mean-
good with lines when I was a kid. Like,
Okay.
I'd never really had any stress. It wasn't until about when I was in high school and got older that I actually kind of got a bit of like not confidence issues, but just like kind of like self-awareness and like,
Oh, then that came into play.
yeah. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, they hired me. I'll just learn the lines and they'll tell me how to say them and whatever.
Absolutely.
Wow.
No, that's gotta be. I don't know if I look at that process and it's like, how does it go in and stay in, and then come out in the proper sequence?
I would
you
not
know?
have had your confidence at that age. Not
I
at
have
all.
a very good memory, so I'm good at just memorizing the lines. And then Peter was just a great director, so
Peter
that's
DeLuise.
good.
yeah. So
Excellent.
for kids, I feel that's a lot more. The director can tell the actor how to deliver the line, but as you get older, it's more like, oh, don't want to step on the actor's toes. But I've never really had a problem with that.
Peter is going to be here this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
So if you bump into him, or if you're at the convention the day that he and I are up on stage with his brother, that would be okay. So because I would point you out and say, Peter, do you recognize who this is? I would love for that. I would love for that. So
I remember giving him a Game Shark on set.
That's right. You bribed him with the video with the game
Yes.
cassette.
Yes, he told me no sugar on set, and then he gave me a Sega Genesis Game Shark. In
wow.
exchange. Yeah.
He checked that you had the system though, right?
Yeah, he asked me what I
Okay,
had.
there you go.
Oh no, I only had a Super Nintendo, so I just put it in my closet. No.
I had both.
Me too.
And then nothing left next for like years. So, but no, that's what are you playing right now?
Elder Scrolls Online, and then
Okay.
the NHL 22. Waiting for the NHL 23, but yeah, I'm big into the fantasy RPGs.
Okay.
Love all the Elder Scrolls
Wow.
games.
Have you got the Stargate RPG?
No, I didn't even know there was a Stargate RPG.
Is it out yet? I don't think it is.
Yeah, I believe it
Timekeepers
is.
is out
I
now?
believe it is. No, not that one. Not that one.
The which one?
Tabletop.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
So yes, there is a physical tabletop Stargate RPG in the
right on.
style of Dungeons and Dragons
Okay,
5th
right on.
edition. So yeah, that's definitely you can definitely play it. Go and get that's the Stargate therepg.com, I believe it is. So check that out. What are you excited most about this event this week? I'm assuming this is your first Stargate convention.
Yeah, this is my first Stargate convention and second convention ever. So.
Oh, so the other one was an X-Files, I'm guessing?
Yeah. It was right before COVID, the year before.
Oh, okay.
And, I went down to Chicago, so that was pretty cool.
What kind of experience was that?
It was crazy. It was really surreal because I'd never been part of that, and then I have a lot more memories working with the cast of the X-Files just because I did like a few episodes.
Correct.
And so when I went to the hotel bar and all the people started showing up, they were like, "Oh, hey!"
There
and
you
then I'm like,
go.
Wait a second. You're supposed to be a kid. Yeah, I got a lot more
I
hair down
grew
here and a lot
up.
less hair up there.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was really weird just reconnecting with all those people. And then after a certain amount of time, then it feels like time hasn't passed or anything, and it's kind of neat. And then we all went out for dinner. But the most fun part was just meeting the fans and just seeing how much of a positive impact the show had. on them.
Correct.
Yeah.
How big of a showing was there? Was that 300 or 400, 500?
I couldn't tell you. It was very organized, and they had like
Okay.
all these different things going on at separate times.
Okay, so it's all
like,
siloed.
Yeah. So like it wasn't all the same people out at the autograph time. Like they just switched it up, so all the fans were saying that it was very well organized and there wasn't huge lines for anything. So I don't really have anything to compare it to.
This is true. Well, this is a fairly intimate event compared to some of the other conventions that I've been to, where there's like
a little less
1,500. Right, and there's a chance for more one-on-one time with people as a result, I think, and it makes for a really special weekend that produces an experience and not so much of just a product. the products are nice, the photos and the autographs, but getting to spend time with people who have really made an impact on your world is something that's really special.
Yeah, that's
so.
definitely why I'm here. Why
So
I
she's
flew
never been to
for-
Canada before.
No, I've never been
welcome.
to Canada before. I'm very excited to be here. It's it's a fabulous place. I really like it. Yeah, very kind people. And beautiful scenery. I can't get over those mountains.
Oh, yeah,
Where I
quite
live,
lovely.
it's just flat. And same with Nicole, flat.
Jeez.
So it just blows my mind away.
Well, then don't go east of the Rockies then.
Really?
It's quite flat over
Oh,
there.
It's
okay.
Saskatchewan,
yeah,
right?
I'd feel
Alberta,
much more at
Saskatchewan,
home.
Alberta,
here.
okay.
Manitoba, all the provinces
Manitoba.
all the way to Ontario. It's
There
flat.
you go. Well, this is a tremendous treat to have you, and I hope you have a great time this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Making some Stargate memories with some fans. I hope to spend a little bit more with you and to catch you in your autograph booth. So
Right on.
it's a good time, man.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you.
for bringing on.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Jenny, thank you so much for running things backstage for us, and thank you so much for tuning in to Dial the Gatecon Foothold preview night. We'll be right back after this. Thank you.
Oh, shoot, okay. David said we are? There we are. Hi everyone, we're back. We are continuing talking and having a nice chat, get to know everybody, including the lovely Jeff here. Till the local party gets going, we're going to keep on live streaming for everybody, and yeah. Hi, hello again. I actually get to talk to you now, which is really exciting. So yeah, so this is your second convention you were telling me earlier.
Correct, yes, I've done X-Fest and now I've done a Gatecon.
How does the X-Fest, how did that one go, and what are you expecting from Gatecon?
It went really well. It seems like actually quite a similar kind of setup, same size room and everything, and probably a similar amount of people.
Yep. Did you ever see anybody that you recognized from other places? So X-Files had a lot of actors who were, based in Canada, like Stargate. Have you ever bumped into other people and who've also been on Stargate and been like, "Whoa, reunited, it feels so good," or is it just like
I haven't
fresh?
seen anybody from that I acted with in Stargate.
Really?
Yeah, no.
That's all right. We've got plenty of time, plenty of years. So, do you want to come back to conventions and actually continue?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I feel I may have dropped the ball my whole career because I just got on Twitter and Facebook, and then people started asking me, "Oh, hey, you want to do this?" I'm like, "Oh, I probably should have been doing this for like the last 10 years."
Aww.
Well, you got great
Never
timing.
too late to start.
Yeah.
And it's great having a child actor as well come back on as an adult, because we don't see too many of them in these conventions. So it's really a pleasure to see you all growing up.
Yeah, and you're actually probably closer to me and my age than my lovely friend is here, because you were still a kid when you were on Stargate.
He's 2 years younger than me.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, closer to me.
Born in '86.
Oh my God, still too far. I was hoping it'd be more of a close thing. I just never imagined you as an adult. It's so hard to even like, you can't ever see them grow. But when I saw you, I was like, oh my God, this is Charlie. So yeah, you were saying earlier as well that they shaved your head for the X-Files and
Correct.
Stargate. So what happened there? How exactly did that tie in together? And how close was the filming of both of them?
It was actually basically I went down to LA and filmed my second episode of the X-Files, and my character
Filmed in LA?
Yeah, it was the first episode that they shot down there for season 6. Yeah, so
Wow.
it was really cool. Never been down there before, so that was really neat. And then, they gave me an option: either wear a bald cap, that would be an extra hour of in hair and makeup every day, or just shave my head, because my character got brain surgery from the cigarette smoking man, and it was very poorly done. So it was this gross, festering scar that they had to put on my head every day.
Oh, wow.
And so it was just a
That
lot of
might-
time.
That probably
Yeah.
appealed to a young child, though. This is so cool. It's so gross.
Yeah, do you remember how you felt going through that? And, you know?
It's just easy. Everybody's just very talkative, so I just kind of sit
Yeah.
and relax in the chair, listen to music, and
Chill
eat
out.
my breakfast or whatever.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask if you remember much of the audition process.
Ooh.
I do
For,
remember
like,
the audition
either
for Stargate.
one.
Yeah, because I just got back and I had my head shaved. I was like, oh, is this going to be like a good look? It's kind of weird.
Were you like competing with many other children for that role?
I don't really remember. I just remember that Peter was actually in the room there, and he
Right.
I don't know if he read with me, but he was in there, and I just remember it being a good vibe and it going really well. And then I think he might even said in there that he liked my head being shaved, and that's a good look.
So it kind of helped you out in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 'cause I think it was probably like a week or two after getting back from the X-Files because it was still basically slick.
I remember watching the episode when I was a kid, and I was like, damn, I could totally do that role, only if they hired a girl. But then I remember I was born a bit too late. I was probably like only...
Like one.
Yeah, basically.
It was 1999, that episode, yeah.
Oh my god, I was one. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the conventions are a great place for loads of different, people who are into loads of different fandoms and groups to come together. Like we're all fans of different things. I love the X-Files. I love Stargate. I love everything. But I heard you play video games. So and there are lots of people in the chat actually who are also big gamers themselves.
Very
So how's that life? What are some top plays that you've done recently that you really love?
I've always been a big fan of the Elder Scrolls games. I started
Yep.
playing with Elder Scrolls Morrowind, the third one.
Oh, exciting classic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's I think that's still my all-time favorite.
Yep.
Just because it was actually difficult.
Yep.
Like there's no arrows and quests and tells you where to go. It's like
No,
go
it's
down
the-
the path and there's a
Yep.
tree, turn left, and then sometimes there's a glitch in the game and it's not even the right place and you spend like an hour finding it and then you finally find the dungeon or whatever.
I mean,
You're
that's
like,
how you learn
oh,
a good
oh
sense
my
of
God.
direction.
Yeah. Well, what kind of player are you? Are you the kind of player that does all of the little side quests?
Yeah.
Or just the main ones?
I usually start in my mind, I'm going to do everything 100%, and then
Yep.
about halfway through the game, I'm
You
like,
lose
okay,
some
well,
enthusiasm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get the main quest done, and then maybe I'll worry about all that other stuff after.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how many hours have you put into the latest one?
Oh,
I have a similar answer. So
A lot.
yeah.
A lot.
Well, I'm really, really excited to see you more over the weekend and like get my photos and autographs with you.
Right
But
on.
honestly, super, super excited. It's been absolutely a privilege meeting you.
You as
And
well.
finding out you're a gamer
Absolutely.
is an even bigger deal because I love that. But yeah, like thank you so much, and thank you, Jenny, for organizing this and helping us out in the back. And thank you, everybody. Honestly, this has been a privilege, absolutely amazing. So.
Welcome back to Dial the Gatecon Foothold. It's Seth! Robert Murray Duncan. Seth from Stargate SG-1. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to be here. Good to see you live. And good to see you live. And you, Matthew.
Oh, thank you kindly.
So, is this your first Gatecon?
It is.
Wow.
I was impressed to know they've been going for 22 years.
This is the 13th one.
Wow, that's great.
It's just
Longest running.
crazy. Is it the longest running? I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
would assume so. Yeah.
And I was impressed that when I arrived in the airport, I was picked up by Kathy Wiley, among others, and she's part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yes.
And they have been involved together for quite some time. I'm really happy to know that.
Yeah, the great thing about Gatecon is there is always, first and foremost, a charity component to this that takes precedence, and the part of Stargate that has always had a desire to give back to the community is very much present here in this event as well. Stargate has always been really tied in with BC Children's Hospital, and Make-A-Wish here has extended that effort as well.
There's a cat haven. I think there's a cat haven as well.
I wouldn't be for felines.
Yeah.
This is news to me.
I believe so. There was photos of Richard with some kitties.
Well, Richard and cats. Those.
Oh, we're going to get
that's
along
just a
really well
thing.
then.
Yeah, I know. I am deathly allergic.
This is all great stuff. I don't know how many shows do that. So,
Right.
again, it's the family love of Stargate that continues to spread.
Now you were. So they want you to hold the microphone closer, so when you speak at least.
Indeed.
So you were first Melbourne, is that right? You first appeared as Melbourne Jackson.
That's right.
Right.
So Daniel's father in that flashback episode.
Yes.
Oh, it's apparently off. There we go. Sorry, folks. Apologize.
Check. So yes, I was in Gamekeeper. Well, I was Daniel's father when it was.
Indeed.
You could call it a flashback, but it was when the Gamekeeper kept making them go through the cycle. of-
Right.
That's
Careful with that
right.
cover stone.
Yeah.
That was hard
Yeah,
to
yeah.
watch.
That was repeatedly.
Right. How
And I
traumatic.
had to question the smarts of standing under a huge piece of cement while I was,
Both
"Okay,
parents.
Yeah, bring it down.
You know?
Anyway,
Did you just have to did you have to film that sequence just the once, or did you have
No.
to? You did actually have to do it repeatedly.
yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. And
Yeah, they
I-
didn't shoot it from a bunch of different angles. They just
Yeah.
kept on, because it is a loop.
It is
Yes.
a loop.
And the idea in the story is that eventually he will be able to modify the events if he plays the game.
Yes, that's right.
So
And there were stunt people as
It's
well.
on now.
And
yeah,
okay, and there were stunt people as well, so that we'd be replaced because those pieces they were controlled, but they had the stunt people jump in there and do that
Oh,
as
of
well.
course.
So it was lots of
Safety
fun.
first.
Yeah.
wow, that's just
Yeah,
craziness.
I'm not, I know certain actors say they do all the stunts. I'm like, no, you go ahead. That's okay. they've got a job to keep, so that's great.
That's true.
Yeah.
What was it like auditioning for Seth? Because at this point there had been a few gold that had been around the block.
Let me say this. I vividly remember in the room outside while we're all waiting to go in. There were about 6 or 8 other actors, and they all know each other. They're all sitting around, and I don't know anybody in Vancouver. And I'm just always quiet, and I sit there. It's kind of my thing anyway. And then one person comes out and he goes, "Oh God, I was really angry. I hope I didn't upset them." And I thought, I got this.
Thanks for the tip.
It's not something I've ever worried about. It's like, no, I'm going to go in there. But anyway, I had it down. There's little subtleties you can do in an audition. And fortunately, I knew the casting director, and she trusted me. So what I did was, I don't think it said it in the script that he was on a throne. I just had the text. But I had the feeling that he's looking down over his minions. So I looked down and if I do it in the camera right now, if I look here, I'm looking below the lens, so I'm looking down on people. And I stared at the casting director's belt, and I did the whole thing like that. And it felt a little awkward that, we'll go for it. But it just gave it that sense of omnipotence and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so the audition process was pretty straightforward. And then all of a sudden it wasn't, because it took them, usually you'll know within a week. They put you on hold, so you can't audition for anything else.
Oh, right.
And
That's like they buy you out like for a period of time, don't they?
Wow, I
for
didn't
no
know that.
money.
Oh, that's not fair.
Ding. Yeah, but you also can't. So you can't audition. So I'm like, I'm really chill with my agent. I don't bother them. So what happened with this audition? So I just waited, and then 2 weeks went by, and I finally called her, and she said, well, they're looking in Los Angeles.
Right.
I was like, hurt my feelings. And then 2 weeks later again, I'm like, okay, now what's going on now? I was like, oh, now they're looking in New York. I was like, I thought maybe they wanted somebody menacing but fair-haired and blue-eyed or something.
Interesting.
I think there was
okay.
something else, but they couldn't. So anyway, then I got the call. So that was very exciting.
Right. I was going to ask a question.
Yes.
Did you do any research at all into Seth in like Egyptian mythology, or you just sort of went
He's
with it?
watched humanity rise and
Yeah.
fall and rise again.
Right. I learned more about him afterwards, and often from the fans. And honestly, because I didn't think I was getting the job, I didn't stop and do a lot of homework. The next thing you know, the wardrobe department called me, and I had to go in and get fitted, and boom, I'm on the set. So there really wasn't a lot of time to check that out. But as I've gone on, actually, I was just listening to one recently where they were debating whether the Goa'ulds would be the masters of the universe if they were challenged by the Wraith.
Yes, that's like a ongoing discussion in some of the fan
Could
sites
one
and
biologically take over the
That's
other?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? There's more. Apparently, there's more. I didn't like the results of what I was hearing. There's more Wraith. Their weapons are technologically more advanced. They can read minds, so they'll know what the Goa'ulds are gonna. That's not good. You got to help me, David.
I think there would be some Goa'uld who would say I wouldn't count on that.
Yeah. Well, there's apparently a second episode where they do the opposite, and they promote why the Goa'ulds would have won. So they're
Oh, okay.
That would be
So this is a
interesting.
fan-based thing.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
I can't remember what it was called. But yeah.
All right. And are we still moving forward on the project, the fan film, as well? Is
Yes,
that still happening?
Yes, a bit of a delay.
Okay.
But Samuel Calkins is definitely working on that. He's done one piece of it with some other people.
Okay.
And I'm to go there at some point when he gets other things organized.
This is sweet. So
Yeah,
be on the
very fun.
lookout for it.
Indeed. Should be lots of
Exciting
fun.
things
He
on
does
the
really great
horizon.
stuff.
What are you looking forward to about this weekend at Gatecon the most?
Oh man, I'm curious to see the people that are going to be coming here, because what I know of it is that, like all of them, it's always a very positive, great environment. So I'm just looking. I'm going to be sitting having breakfast with some people. We're going to be having little meetings with other people, and then there's the big event behind me, behind this wall right here.
Right.
Yeah,
That looks
very
extremely
secretive.
It
cool.
looks so
You'll have
good.
to come here to see it, or maybe not. Maybe
No,
show
they'll
some-
be online as
there
well.
go.
We're selling
Ding.
tickets online over the
They
weekend.
are.
There you go, guys. It'll be
So-
great. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Robert, this is such a privilege to have you. And thank you so much for continuing to be a part of the Stargate family moving forward. And looking forward to catching up with you more this weekend.
Cool, David. Good to talk to you guys again.
Yes, pleasure seeing you.
And thank you so much for tuning in at home. We'll be right back after this for more on Dial the Gatecon here in Gatecon 2022 in Richmond. Jenny? Welcome back to Dial the Gatecon Foothold here in Richmond, British Columbia, Canada, the 13th Gatecon, Gatecon 2022. And if this fella resembles someone in Stargate, it's because he is someone in Stargate. Imagine that.
Hartford, it's been several decades.
Chancellor Persis, in one of the most divisive episodes that SG-1 ever gave us.
An amazing
Divide
episode.
and Conquer. Andrew Jackson,
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
welcome. Please use
Hello,
the
everyone.
microphone.
Oh, the
Like, there you
microphone's a
go.
wise choice.
It's very helpful, yeah.
Supreme High Counselor who doesn't know how to use the microphone.
I mean, you have
Well, he
people
has
for
the
that.
flair.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
have people
That's
for that.
Welcome back to Gatecon.
Thank you.
You
Great
are
to
a
be here.
Gatecon staple. You know, I love coming here and having you as a part of this group. It's only natural that you are here amongst us. So I really appreciate seeing you again, and thank you for taking part in this pre-show.
Well, you know, I was just sitting there enjoying a Moscow Mule and a butter chicken, and suddenly I was grabbed and asked if I'd come here and be interviewed. It is very good. I highly recommend it. And so I was thrilled to actually come and join you and have an interview. So thank you.
You have been watching this convention evolve for so many years. What has stayed the same and what has changed, in your opinion, if anything?
The one thing that's always existed is the family connection between the fan base and the actors themselves. Because I think with some conventions, there's a certain sense of distance between the audience and the performers. Whereas with this particular group of people, there's always a feeling of, wow, you know, it's home week. You're actually seeing not just friends in some cases, it really does feel like family. Because we've known each other now for decades. We communicate with one another on Facebook or on other forms of social media. And you know, this is, to me, this isn't just going to a convention. This is coming home. So it really is an honor
magical.
and a pleasure.
I that's beautifully put.
Absolutely.
This is my first ever Gatecon, so I'm really excited to actually get to see the family whole thing going on. And you know, I want to be able to come back at some point. You know, it's very expensive to travel this far. But yeah, would you ever, you know, travel to other conventions in the UK? Come see me. You know, have an easier time. It's really nice in England over there, you know. But Canada's a beautiful, lovely place. Are you local to the area?
I did live in Vancouver for several years. I'm currently just outside of Toronto.
Oh, wow.
But I would move back to Vancouver in a minute. And yes, I love going to England. I saw 30 plays in a month back in, what was it, 1990. It was insane. What an experience, yeah.
That's but the thing is, if you're only going, you know, every now and again, you want to try and jam as many in as you can.
But yeah, that would be a great reason to go.
Yeah, I mean, I know we'd love to see you over there. But yeah, honestly, I'm so excited for this convention. I'm so excited to see everybody and see how everything goes. But you know, what are you most looking forward to this weekend compared to all the other years that you've come?
Well, I'm doing something a little different this year. Through COVID, I discovered a passion for singing.
Oh.
My mom was a music teacher. I grew up surrounded by musicians.
Are you going to serenade
20
us?
Instruments in the basement. Not right now, I'm not. But, but yeah, no, I'm going to be singing the night of the auction for 45 minutes, no less. And then there's a private.
That's a long time.
Minutes. I have been singing incessantly since COVID began. And when I say that I've fallen in love with singing, that's a major understatement. Like, it really has become a big part of my life. And I had no idea.
Is English, Italian?
Well, there's actually one line in one of my songs is in an African language, but it's literally for one line, so that doesn't count. So English, yes.
Wow, and this was spurred by just everything that we've all had to go. One of the things that I have noticed, let me is folks with like Garwin Sanford, Colin Cunningham, these people who can't find themselves in a situation where they're climbing the walls, bored because they'll just self-destruct. They have discovered new things. Garwin has learned French.
Wow. He's a very bright guy. I'm not surprised. He's an artist as well.
Correct. You know, so this sounds
Man
like
of many talents.
Your conduit was let's try some. Let's sing.
Sing, yeah.
Well, I mean, we're creative beings, right?
Right.
And we have to have some venue, some outlet, and this became mine. And I absolutely love it. So I hope everyone else loves it as well.
Absolutely. Well, at the end of 45 minutes, they'll know one way or the other.
That's true.
That's great. I can't wait. What is it about? The thing that I am always blown away by with the convention is the fact that the charities come first. You know, getting to see the people who have put on this show over the past 17 seasons of television is great, but the fact that it's all being served for a greater good as well is, I think, the real key to this event. And what do you? I mean, you're participating during the auction to help facilitate that, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. Tell us more about that.
Well, I mean, it comes down to heart, right?
Yeah.
This is something that we collectively feel passionate about, and it's not a hard sell. And I'll confess, a few of us have the odd drink during the event, and things get a little wild and entertaining.
Right.
But everybody knows the reason that they're buying the various different
Correct.
items, and in many cases, they really do want to purchase various props or art pieces and items that are personal to them, related to a character, to the storyline, whatever. This is more memorabilia, but the bottom line is they know that it's going to a good cause. And this year, it's Make-A-Wish, and so you're bringing a wish to a child it's their final wish, it's their dream. How could you not? Give that child that opportunity. So
If it's within your means, absolutely.
It's
It's only
it's
money,
dear to the
folks.
heart, right?
So,
Money can come and go.
absolutely.
Yep, easy.
This is real cool.
Completely. Just you were talking about the Moscow Mule being your favorite, the drink you were drinking, right? I was just thinking about this. What would Chancellor Perseus's favorite drink be? Do you think, if he came and had a drink with the president, what would it be? I was just straight in my head.
Wow. Well, I was going to say his meal would probably be sushi. Because when I think of the ghoul, there's something about sushi that comes to mind. As for drink, well, I personally like vodkas, so I would think he'd be drinking vodka or alcohol straight. Or something even stronger, if that's possible.
I was going to say, I really wish we cut to you with SG1 just hanging out, getting a bev after all the chats with the president,
No, more like a funeral.
Oh
It's
yeah, sorry,
probably
I
a
forgot how it
funeral
ended.
that Yeah, it was rather dark.
It was very dark. Yeah, you were in a very, very dark episode of SG1,
Yes. I've been in a few dark episodes of shows and characters.
Did you follow any of the online fandom at the time that this episode aired? Did you see how polarizing it was?
I didn't, so I'm very intrigued.
I also didn't. So.
Well, you were 5.
Yeah.
50% of people loved it, and 50% of people absolutely hated it because JR was killed.
This I did know, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know he was very, very upset about it at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't personally know him, and I was coming into the show. It was, I mean, I could sense that there was a certain unease even in shooting the episode because of that decision on the part of the producers or writers, but these are things that we deal with, but he's a pro, and everybody just came to the table and did their job.
Well, this is war,
This
And
is
in war. Our allies have to have, in television, sacrifice.
Yeah.
There has to be some in order to make it feel real. And Terrell Rothery, I'm sure you've heard the stories of coming to these events over the years of watching Frasier pass, but it was a tremendous episode. I'm very grateful that you were a part of it because
Thank you.
we've gotten to know each other through this. So
I had an interesting audition experience with the show.
Please tell us that.
Yes, please.
So the character, if I recall correctly, in the description, was supposed to be in his 50s or 60s, and I was in my 30s at the time. So when I went into audition, I was a little intimidated because I was young and they were not. And he's this high dignitary character, and I thought, how am I going to portray this? And I had played Octavius Caesar at the Stratford Festival back in, what year was it, late 80s. And I thought, I'm going to play him like he's Octavius, who was an administrative genius.
You had a lot of stoicness and grace, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I embodied that, went into the audition room, and unbeknownst to me, the director-producer decided that I was like a young Kennedy. I'm sure it had nothing to do with my name or namesake. No relation, by the way, Andrew Jackson. But he said I was like a young Kennedy. So I guess the power of whatever you bring to the table, what you think about, if you have the confidence to bring that into the room, it helped me get the part, which is
that's
encouraging.
legit, man. Whatever works, because that's clearly did. There was a poise to him. What I regret is that we never saw him again. And there were opportunities
I was about to
right
say,
up till I think Companiuon would have been perfect.
Oh yeah, you could have been
You
doing
should have been the one who said,
chanting.
"Behold, the last of the System Lords," and
Yes.
destroyed the last Ball symbiote.
Missed opportunity, right?
I
there.
know.
I think so.
But I don't think the Toker story is over with if we ever have.
No, there's
an
so much
SG1.
more to do with that, and if we ever if it ever came back or anything, I'd love
I
to see you
think
come
so.
back in.
I
you know?
appreciate that. I'd
Absolutely.
love to come back.
Absolutely.
I'm sure everyone else would appreciate it too.
This has been such a treat having you on. I really appreciate having you here. And Jenny Stiven, who is running our show backstage, thank you so much for that. And thank you for tuning in to Dial the Gatecon. We're going to be wrapping this up fairly soon here, but a little bit more right after this. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Dial the Gatecon Foothold. It is such a pleasure to be here with you guys. This is such a good time. I'm talking to you both.
Yes, sorry, we're
Okay.
distracted.
There's people coming
We're
in.
distracted by people walking into the conference room.
Are you with me here?
Yes, we're here.
Sorry,
we're
we're here.
fully in this room with you, David.
What was the I just watched it last night. Soul. Quiet Coyote. Is that
What?
the expression?
What is that?
It's like to
I haven't seen
zone
Soul.
people in.
Am I too young?
Oh,
Yeah, I
it was
haven't seen
it's
Soul.
Quiet Coyote.
Oh.
She would say it was really cute.
That does sound cute.
You've met a few Stargate folks tonight.
Oh, starstruck already. Can't do
Yeah,
it.
completely just.
Okay, I'm going to
yeah,
take that
out of
balloon
body
and
experience.
pop it because they're just people.
Yes,
Oh,
they are. They are just people.
But what do you think?
Honestly, this is quite a wild way to start a convention, you know?
Yeah, right.
As a
This
normal
is
convention
this
goer,
what you've this is Gatecon. That's what it is.
usually
Yeah.
doesn't start till like the Saturdays when stuff really starts happening.
Yeah.
So I'm not really used to the pre-everything going on stuff. This is super exciting. I'm so
Well,
happy
we've
to do
already
this.
met like 4 people from the cast.
More maybe.
So,
I can't even
yeah.
count. There have been so many walking past
And
me.
they're so chill and accessible.
I know.
And,
Absolutely.
You know, it's a great experience to be able to meet these people in the setting
Mm-hmm.
like this, and then get to share stories with them in the wider group throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
So
Yep, I know what I'm drinking this weekend. Thank
What's
you,
that?
Chancellor Persis. A Moscow Mule. And then whatever the vodka drink thing he was saying. I'm going to go ask for that too. I don't really like drinking a lot, but you know, I think it's
Well,
to commemorate.
they'll have to rename it like the Persis or something.
Literally, yeah.
who are you most excited to meet that we haven't met yet?
I don't want to play
can't answer that.
favorites,
I
but
can't answer
I'm kind of keen to meet David DeLuise and Peter DeLuise.
Oh
That's
yes,
true.
good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Absolutely.
I think one person, is it pronounced Elena Huffman?
Yes.
I'm super excited to meet her because, you know, it's always like quite the boys' club conventions, and it's really nice to have some, you know, and Terrell Rothery. You know,
Oh,
let's get some
Terrell,
girls in.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Terrell. But we've been rewatching Universe, so
Yeah, it's been
you know,
really
it's all
excited for
fresh.
Elena.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you've met most of these people before. Is there anybody who you haven't met?
The meeting is only so much the getting to interview part is the most important. And I
Yeah.
can announce now in this segment that just in the past hour or so, Eric Avari has agreed to sit down with us
Yes.
on stage this weekend, Saturday at 1 p.m.
Stargate
Yes.
OG?
Yeah.
So yes, so
Tune
we're going
in.
to go now to the Dial the Gate website at dialthegate.com, and we're going to read through the list of interviews that are going to be taking place over the course of the weekend. So join me there. So we've got, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow, Peter Williams, Apophis
Amazing.
himself, is going to be joining us for
We've
the first
met
time.
Peter
We
before.
love Peter.
You have?
Yes, we
At
have
Kalmar.
at Kalmar
Okay.
in
And
2019.
Alexis went running and was like, "Daddy!" and then they hugged.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
It was great.
It was an
so
iconic
funny.
moment.
Man, so he's going to be joining us tomorrow morning. If I think the flights for that has not been an issue as well.
Right.
But we were going to have David DeLuise on tonight, but there's been a delay because of the fires in California.
yeah.
So I think Peter's coming in from Toronto, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But in addition to that, we have at 1 p.m. Saturday, Eric Avari is going to be joining us 1 p.m. Pacific to discuss Kasuf.
Yep.
And his experience with the movie, his experience in nearly every television show that has ever been on. The
Yeah.
man tends to be in. He
Yes,
has
The
he has
Mummy.
credits.
The Mummy.
Oh my
I
God!
I know.
noticed.
Every
was
time I
watching
turn around,
Burnout,
the
he
man is on
appeared.
TV.
Literally.
So I don't ever know
I
how he.
can't escape
icon.
him.
Just
No,
an
you
icon.
can't, and he's great in everything that he does. I was watching Sequest the other day. Eric Avari, man, oh man. So he's at 1 p.m. At 5 p.m. Pacific. Excuse me. At 5 p.m. Pacific, Saturday, fan-made props with Remington Phillips of SG1 Props. Remington and I have gone back years and years. He is a prop fabricator maestro, and he's going to be revealing a gorgeous piece that he's been working on for a year and a half, I think. And if you look at the concept art that's included with that, you may have an inkling of what that's going to be.
Ooh,
but I'm not
hype.
going to say any more because I've asked him to surprise me on stage just in case.
Wow.
Valerie Halverson is going to be joining us on Saturday at 7 p.m. with a costume slideshow.
I'm so excited for that.
That's
It's
going to be
great.
amazing to see.
This is going to be
I'm
terrific.
not great with fashion, but Stargate costumes, I'm like, I'm there.
Yes. So
Yes.
she is going to be. I may have some of the days wrong, so I'm looking at this round. I'm like, this is not exactly. I'm going to have to check. But the Dial the Gatecon website will have the most current. Dial the Gate website will have the most current information, and the YouTube links for the weekend will be all correct with their launch times as well. But Valerie is going to be showing costume sketches as well as photos from the different costumes that she has really
Yeah, getting an
specialized in.
inside look.
Right, over
Special.
6 seasons and 3 different Stargates. So it's a
Yeah.
big deal. And then closing out the event on Dial the Gate, as far as Dial the Gate goes, will be Sunday, and it won't actually be the closer. It's the second to the last, the penultimate. Sunday, September the 4th at 10:30 in the morning. Peter DeLuise
Yep.
and David DeLuise. Oh my gosh,
It's
will that
gonna
be
get exciting.
Yes.
craziness?
Yes.
So
yeah,
I
don't even
am
have
just
any
gonna,
words.
I will just be like steering the ship here and there, barely. They're just
Just
gonna
let
be
them
like,
take it.
I'm just gonna let them take it.
Good
because-
idea.
It's no longer it's
Well,
no longer your show, it's their show now.
No, it's,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's feudal.
Style the
It's
DeLuise.
absolutely. That's right. That's exactly how it's going to be. And now we are announcing, we are wrapping up the weekend with Dial the Gate, an after party that's going to be taking place at the same time as the wrap party. I'm not exactly sure on the time, and I should be because I'm the freaking producer of the show. But that's going to be happening at the same time as the wrap party is on Sunday. So be keeping an eye on the Dial the Gates channel on YouTube, because the publication date will be to your local time. So whenever that is going to be happening, I think it's around 5 o'clock Pacific time, then it'll be showing as we go
It'll be
live.
very late UK time. Good luck, UK people.
It-
Stay up
well,
for
I
me,
mean,
please.
that will, for Valerie, they're going to have to like get up at 3 in the morning. So
Yeah.
Wow.
you
I
can
would do
replay
it.
it
You should do
later.
it.
I'd love for you to be live in live for this when we go live, but I
Yes.
understand if not.
Well, if I can do it from Perth, Western Australia,
3
it's like
in the morning.
2,
Every
3 o'clock in the
weekend,
morning.
you know?
Every weekend.
It's doable. You
So-
see lots of caffeine.
What is this wormhole extremist thing? What are we going to be doing this fall?
Watching a lot of Stargate together and having a lot of interesting conversations and differences of opinion. It's going to
I
be
think so. And agreeing
super
on some
cool.
things.
Agreeing on some things,
Yeah.
yes. I'm sure
Over
there are loads of
analyzing
places.
certain things.
Yeah.
Stargate live commentaries.
Yes.
So starting with Rising and with you okay?
Yes, rock my hand.
With Rising, and I think we're going to do the Stargate feature film, I think, as well.
Yes,
Because
we're
we've
going
already
back.
done
Going
Children of the
back.
Gods
Yeah,
as a
for the
test run.
anniversary.
Right, and that was I think that went
We talked
amazingly
a
well.
lot.
I had so much fun.
I had
Yeah.
a great time
Awesome.
interacting with the people on the stream
Correct.
about all the changes that were and were not made in the different airings of Stargate. So
Exactly.
There is so much to go and look back
there is
on.
so much Stargate.
And we've got 363 more hours, I think, to watch.
Didn't you
gonna take a
estimate it was
long
going to take 5 years?
5 years.
Oh, I am going to
Yep,
be almost
because
30,
we're going to take
guys.
summer breaks.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, and every 10 episodes, we're going to do a sci-fi movie.
Yep.
We have Mark Haynes and J.C. Vaughn in the house, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But you're J.C. Are you J.C.? Would you like to join us in a moment? All right, sweet.
Excellent.
So Jenny, we're gonna. I need to wrap it up. Bring them in. Bring them in.
Bring them in. Oh, wow.
Oh, so we're holding it up.
Oh, no.
All right, we will
Big
catch
whoopsie.
up. So this was supposed to go on at the same time. I don't know why. So isn't that crazy? Well, then let's wrap it up.
Let
It's
the,
our
let the
fault.
fun begin.
Jenny, are you ready to go? All right. Well,
Let the
apparently
party
we're being
begin.
kicked out. So we're gonna start up the cocktail party here. My name is David Reed.
I'm Nicole Rodriguez-Galdo.
I'm Evie Cahill.
Thank you so much to my production team for making this happen. Linda, Gate Gabber Fury. I've got Jenny Stiven backstage making this happen. I think we've got Summer online. Whoever is moderating
Yes,
online, I
Summer.
really appreciate you. And we have Tracy here on site as well, making this possible. Thank you to my guests. Thank you to Jeff Gulka. And thank you to everyone who has come by for a few minutes. We will have a lot more content for you this weekend. We're going to get this show on the road right now.
Yep.
See ya on the other side.